Stop using words and you don't even know the meaning of it. Wait. Feminism is the belief in social and economic and political equality of these sexes. Because some of y'all be throwing the word randomly and y'all don't even know what the hell it means. I think a lot of black women reject feminism because of the pedestal they hold romantic relationships with men on. They really believe that they cannot be feminists and be in relationships with men. They really believe that it's mutually exclusive for you to be a feminist and still crave companionship and desire marriage and kids or to love a man. I think a lot of black women also don't understand that we cannot isolate women's rights from feminism. So they want to uphold and enjoy and even exercise women's rights, but they want to reject feminism simultaneously and then say, well, two truths can exist at once. No, this is what we call disillusionment, babe. You have the right to go to work, you have the right to open a bank account, you have the right to choose whether or not you get married and have kids, you have the right to do what you please with your body, whether it's sexually or pertaining to reproduction, because of feminism. Feminism had to exist first for you to be able to exercise these rights.
It's always women for change, but we are failing to guide women towards making choices that will protect their lives. When we come on here and try to show women the right way, when we tell them, preserve yourself, it's always, no, you're too serious, you only live once, life is too short, so is Nisha. Truth, until we say down with feminism, things are going to continue to get worse. And did feminists tell you to wear a G-string at the club if you feel like it? Feminists tell you to sleep around. Girl, you're still in your 20s, date whoever you want to date, sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. It's like you promote harmful lifestyles, but when you are faced with consequences, it's always the opposite gender. You did nothing wrong. These young women put themselves in dangerous situations and then later come crying because something happened to them. Because nobody guides them. Nobody tells them that some paths, some decisions that you make will lead to harm or even worse, death. How can you go home with a random man you just met at the club and expect to be completely safe?
The way we're so ready to reject feminism because of our allegiance to relationships with men is astounding and very dangerous for us. So you're rejecting the very thing that protects your ability to exist freely without it being controlled and dictated by what a man deems to be acceptable. Men do not reject themselves the way that we do in pursuit of companionship with us. So we need to recognize the role we sometimes play as black women in why black men end up showing up the way that they show up in relationships with us. We make ourselves easier to be with because we cosplay as these ideal women that have been scripted by the patriarchy in order to keep these men. So when we say decenter men, we're saying dismantle this trade-off you're always willing to do for a man. We're saying let that not be the premise of your existence as a woman. A romantic relationship with a man.
Women, we also need to start acting responsibly. We cannot always be pointing fingers. It's men, as if we're never in the wrong. Till we start making wiser choices that protect ourselves, nothing much is going to change. Before anyone says, but some women are not only murdered in clubs, but they are murdered and raped in their own homes. Yes, that's true. Tragically, some women are murdered in their own homes and raped by their own fathers every day for absolutely no reason, and I dread that deeply. You see, those are incidents that require urgent attention and movements because, no. But I'm not addressing that here. What I'm addressing is the women who put themselves in dangerous situations knowingly, being involved with harmful men, being overly promiscuous, or engaging in risky behavior. No one deserves to be harmed, and nothing could ever justify violence. But by the way we are doing things, by constantly defending these poor choices, we're not helping anything. What we're doing is we're driving these women to a life of destruction that could lead to death.
I've just had enough of the TikTok, Twitter discourse this week. Guys, you finished me. Like, we have gone 50 million steps back. Can we just go back to Feminism 101? One, it's not controversial to say that wanting to be a trad wife is not a feminist choice. Why is it so controversial to say that right now? Two, it's not controversial to say subscribing to organized religion is not a feminist choice. These things are not controversial to say. And I'm so sick of everybody trying to make feminism into something that it's not and forcing us to subscribe to this conservatist, liberal, I don't even know what the hell kind of feminism you guys are running, but I'm not running with it. I'm so sorry. You know, when I first learned about feminism, I was 13 years old. I was in grade 7. I was in grade 7, and the feminists that I learned feminism from would be spitting on all of these things that are being said about feminism right now, because they are insane and they do not align with the feminist ideology at all. I'm so sick, guys. And please don't get me wrong. When we say these things, nobody is calling you a bad person. No one is even calling you a bad feminist. We're just saying it's not a feminist choice, and it is not wrong to say that. I'm so sick of everybody. I am so sick of walking on eggshells about something that we shouldn't have to walk on eggshells about. Do you guys want liberation or not? Decide today. Do you want liberation, or do you want your own personal liberation, or do you want liberation for women?
We could prevent a large number of tragedies by just preventing ourselves, ladies. Preserving ourselves. Assault and death rates of women are rising higher every day because nobody is saying, if you do this, these are the possible consequences. Women, it's time for us to stop just pointing fingers and start to reflect on what we women can do to minimize risks. Women, I think we should hold gatherings and discussions to guide each other, to share wisdom, and to help avoid dangerous situations. And there's so much we can do to protect ourselves and each other, but it starts with self-reflection. It starts with safer choices. Tell me in the comment section what your feelings are on this, and please share with the women in your life. This could help them.
You know what's so funny to me? Like, let me tell you guys why I can never take a feminist in South Africa seriously. Okay, obviously I'm not going to generalize and say all feminists are like this, but like majority of them in South Africa are literally like, they literally pick and choose when they want to be activists and like feminists. Okay, for example, let me tell you guys, there's this one artist, we all know him, I'm not going to say who. He's literally known, he has a case for beating up a woman. Like, he literally beat up his past girlfriend. Like, he literally beat her up. Like, we all know this. Cool, y'all still support him. Y'all love his music. You stream his music probably every day. You go to his shows every day. When he tells you join the section for a little bit of Viv, you would join. Chris Brown then comes to South Africa. Y'all are telling him, leave, leave, leave. You guys are being so ignorant. Why do you want an abuser? Yet you're the same person who literally listens to that artist's music every day. You literally the same person who says, no, everyone makes mistakes when you bring up that artist, and you're like, but how are you against Chris Brown, but you listen to this person, you support this person? Oh no, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Which one is it? You can't say I'm against gender-based violence or I'm against this and that, and then when it comes to one person, you let it slide or you try to justify their actions. No, if you're going to be against something, be against it 100%. Don't pick and choose when you want to be against it. Like, the thing is, no one's forcing you guys to be activists. No one's forcing you guys to be feminists. No one's forcing you guys to do anything. You don't have to speak up against problems that we face in our country. But if you're going to speak up, make sure you speak up against everyone. Don't now, when it comes to that one artist, or when it comes to this person, or when it comes to that person, you're now quiet. Like, I get it again. You know, you were in it. You were busy posting Chris Brown mustn't come to South Africa again. Chris Brown, this, that. Not even only Chris Brown, a lot of other people. But now, when they hold you accountable for trying to justify this, your favorite artist's behavior, you then like, I'm not involved. Come on, don't be dumb.